As Jesus concluded his private conversation with Peter, James, John, and Andrew on the Mount of Olives in Mark chapter 13, he makes a statement that's very important for us to make sure that we don't lose the meaning, the purpose in what he said. Because in Mark chapter 13, beginning with verse 32, as he's described all of these things, he says, "But concerning that day or that hour, no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. Be on guard. Keep awake, for you do not know when the time will come. It is like a man going on a journey, when he leaves home and puts his servants in charge, each with his work, and commands the doorkeeper to stay awake. Therefore, stay awake, for you do not know when the master of the house will come, in the evening, or at midnight, or when the rooster crows, or in the morning, lest he come suddenly and find you asleep. And what I say to you, I say to all, stay awake." Sometimes this conversation that Jesus had with his disciples on the Mount of Olives can be a source of great confusion and even fear among followers of Jesus as we try to study it. For others, it can be a point of absolute obsession, trying to describe in great detail what the end times will be like, perhaps even trying to predict when Jesus is going to come, even pronouncing dates or years, or even just saying that it's sometime soon. And you know what? Maybe, but maybe not. Because as Jesus wraps this all up, he tells us we're not going to know. We can know Jesus, but we can't know the day or the hour when these things come to pass. And if anybody stands up and claims to have a vision in which God has revealed this to him, if anyone stands up and claims to have solved some formula or pattern within the Bible that allows them to predict the date, they're lying. They're wrong. Because Jesus said, no one will know. But knowing when these things would happen wasn't actually his point. It wasn't his point for these apostles that he originally said it to. It wasn't his point for all of us who now receive that message. His point was, stay awake. It's going to get hard. Our faith will be challenged. The world's going to have all kinds of problems. But Jesus is coming back. You can be sure of that. Even though it might not look like it, his word will come to pass. Heaven and earth might pass away, but what Jesus says will not pass away. So we need to stay awake. It's like he's our master and we're the servants that are charged with keeping the house, but he wants to make sure that whenever he gets back, we're awake. We're ready. We're working. You see, the point of Jesus' teachings here is not to describe for us in detail exactly how the world's going to end. The point of Jesus' teaching here is not to help us predict how the world's going to end. The point of Jesus' teaching here is not for us to engage in complicated, in-depth discussions trying to speculate about what it might be like. The reason Jesus taught this to his apostles, the reason they preserved it for us to be taught it, is so that we might stay awake. So that we could live each and every day as though Jesus could come back at that very moment. That we are so completely devoted to him, that we know him and love him so much and are living that out each day, that we are accomplishing what he wants done, that whenever he arrives, whether it's today or whether it's years from now, whether it's the middle of the night or on Super Bowl Sunday, he will find us doing what he wants done in this world. He'll find us loving and serving and living for him. That's his point. Every time Jesus' apostles would preach or teach or write about these themes. That was their point too, as you see that all throughout the New Testament, anytime we're taught about these things around Jesus coming again, the point is always, so stay awake. Stay completely focused every moment of every day on doing what Jesus wants done. Because if we do, if we are actively serving Him all the days of our life, then we can be sure that He will rescue us from whatever hardship this world faces. We can be sure that He will reward us as we get to spend eternity living in His presence.